Every year, mysterious cases involving humans are reported, and although many of them do eventually get solved, there is still a large number that remain a mystery. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at these 5 mysterious cases. The Hand in the Trunk. After 4 decades, the hand in the trunk story is still being talked about. The event occurred on the 5th of May 1979 in Birmingham, Alabama. The story wouldn't be complete without the mention of 2 employees of Birmingham News, Mark and Jerry. History has it that there were reports from drivers to the news station that they had seen a hand showing from the storage compartment of a moving vehicle. The 2 Birmingham News employees, Mark Winnie, who was doing his intern as a reporter at that time, and a veteran photographer, Jerry Ayres, were both deployed to check whether they could settle the puzzle. According to Mark and Jerry in their report, they drove all around the city searching for the vehicle. They were about to give up in their search when Mark, who was sitting at the front seat beside Jerry, who was behind the wheel, detected the beat-up beige Dodge voyaging northbound on Interstate 2059 in Ensley. They both saw the hands showing from the trunk, and they knew that was their target. Jerry had to drive close to the vehicle so they could have a clear shot. At a certain point inside the traffic, Jerry had to swap seats with Mark so he can snap some photographs of the Dodge and the hand standing out through a fissure in the storage compartment. The driver of the Dodge, a lady, must have realised they were being followed when she took the exit ramp at the airport boulevard. Mark and Jerry weren't ready to give up, so they kept following the car. The lady driver at that point started weaving through an area. Mark quickly made use of their station radio and communicated to Garland Reeves, who was the editor of the station at that time. Garland Reeves contacted the Birmingham Police Department and informed them of the latest development about the Dodge car. The police then moved into action. Police halted the vehicle and captured 3 individuals, a 27-year-old Joseph Fendley, a 49-year-old Wilburn Fendley, who is an uncle to Joseph, and a 24-year-old lady driver, Robin Green. On opening the trunk, they found inside a man still breathing and alive. Captured Collier said that he had met the 3 at a bar in Bessemer the prior night. He said he was ransacked of $350 from a disability check, was beaten and wounded with a screwdriver, and constrained in the storage compartment. Collier further explained that he almost passed away from the carbon monoxide that filled the Dodge trunk. He had to force himself to stay awake. The only option he had when he heard Joseph, Wilburn and Robin discussing where to throw his body was to slip his hand through a hole in the elastic seal at the lip of the storage compartment and wave to drivers, hoping he would get lucky and someone would see his hand and alert the police. Collier was confirmed to have spent 14 hours in the car trunk. Records state that Wilburn was freed by a court of law, but records didn't show what befell the charges against Joseph Findlay and Robin Green. Neil Doverstone. An incident that happened far away from America is that of Neil Doverstone. This is a story that some people believe will stay a mystery, as the police couldn't find out if the passing away of Neil Doverstone was caused by himself or another person. This event took place in Saddleworth, England. A man was reported to have taken a flight from Pakistan to London on the 10th of December 2015. From there, he found his way to Saddleworth, where he went to ask for the directions to the top of the mountain from a pub landlord, Mel Robinson. According to Mel, he was seeing the man for the first time in his pub and didn't look like a traveller because he had no luggage or a suitcase with him. He said the man was dressed in a mac coat, plain trousers and loafers on his feet. Mel said he gave the man the description and left his pub thereafter. On the 12th of December 2015, a cyclist named Stuart Crowther, who was riding through the hills of Saddleworth Moor, noticed a man lounging on the bank of the hills. He called to the man, but it was apparent that something was wrong as the man wasn't responding. On moving close to the man, Stuart realised the man had passed away, and it turned out to be the same man from the pub. An alarm was raised, and the police were sent to the location. The police found £130 in his coat pocket and an empty medicine box which had thyroxine sodium written on it in both Urdu and English. The identity of the man became a mystery because no passport or driving licence was found on him. The man was nicknamed Neil Doverstone, with some reports claiming that the man had had a heart attack, while other reports claimed that he was poisoned after it was found in his system following an autopsy. The question on the minds of everyone is, did the man take the poison by himself, or was he poisoned by someone else? The Poe Toaster. An unidentified man was tagged the Poe Toaster by the media after his successive visits to the grave of an American author, Edgar Allan Poe. The mysterious man always visited the tombstone, which was in Baltimore, Maryland. This would be in the early hours of January, and it's said the person in question would be dressed in a black coat with a wide-brimmed hat and white scarf, which gave little room for identification. The man was always coming to the tombstone with a bottle of cognac and a glass cup. He would pour himself a drink and make a toast to Poe's memory before vanishing into the night. A significant ritual that allowed the people to know that the Poe Toaster had visited was the 3 roses distinctively arranged on the tombstone and an unfinished bottle of cognac. Many people claimed they tried having a clear view of the Poe Toaster, but he always managed to escape before any of his photographs could be taken. On the 29th of January, which marked the 200th posthumous birthday of Edgar Allan Poe, the Poe Toaster came and raised his glass of cognac up and made a toast to honour Poe's legacy. That was the last time he would be seen. To this day, nobody knows the identity of the Poe Toaster, who carried on with a ritual for over 7 decades. Boy in the Box. The Boy in the Box, also known as America's Unknown Child, is a case that was opened by the police in the year 1957. But up until now, the case has not been solved and may never be solved. In February 1957, a college student found himself in the woods after following a rabbit that ran into the underbush that was laid with animal traps. The student saw a cardboard box on the ground. Inside the cardboard box was a lifeless child wrapped in a plaid blanket. With fear of the unknown, the college student refused to report to the police that day, but he ended up reporting it the next day. When police started their investigation, the boy, whom his age was guessed to be between 4 and 5, was said to have been severely malnourished and had surgical scars on his groin and ankle. Police also discovered that the boy's hair had been recently cropped unprofessionally, possibly after his passing away, because clumps of his hair still clung to his body. Despite the massive media attention and the willingness of the police, the boy's identity was never discovered, his parents were never known, and the perpetrator of the crime was never found. The Island of Poveglia. Poveglia is an island in Italy located between Venice and Lido, and it sits on the list of one of the places not to visit in the world. The small Italian island served as a quarantine for people who were infected with Black Plague and those who were suspected to be carrying the bacteria during the Roman Empire. These people were isolated from the rest of the country so as not to infect others. They soon began to pass away, and most were buried together in a large grave. Those who were not buried were burnt. A mental home was also built on the island in 1922. The isolation and privacy the island brought allowed the doctors and scientists to do as they wished with their patients. There were reports of a particular doctor who used hammers, chisels, and drills on his patients without anesthesia when performing lobotomies. Screams of patients from tortures filled the island air in the early 20th century. These 2 events made Poveglia a haunted place and became deserted after the last buyer of the island vacated because of claims of ghosts occupying the island. Estimates from experts believe the death toll in the area to be around 100,000 people combined throughout the centuries. Today, the island is treated similarly to that of a massive investigation site, and to disturb or visit any part of the island is punishable by the law and can lead to you being locked up for several years. This has led many people to believe that perhaps a government cover-up is taking place on the island today to prevent any darker secrets from surfacing. But what do you make of these 5 mysterious cases? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.